I would say since ini mungkin cukup unpopular when it comes to AI. People, when we talk about AI, it's all about the tangible output, right? Say for instance, when we do the AI productions, the meta-human thing, but AI usage is actually beyond that. We can actually use AI in each milestone of our campaign or projects, right? And including when it comes to defining the strategy, to define the consumer behavior, analyzing the data. So here today, we are very lucky. We have the leading experts from Nestle and Google to share with us their experience and insight about how AI is actually leveraged when it comes to defining and transforming the consumer data, as well as the insight itself. But before we start, paling saya mau mulai dengan pertanyaan. Whenever I met people, actually, I always ask this about AI. Kapan sih pertama kali encounter about AI? Terus impact-nya terhadap your life or day-to-day work kayak gimana? Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's, for me, it's a bit fun because I work with Google. In a way, we have a solution in the past years. And then we were trying to explain to people what does it mean. In this case, we have something with the solution, for instance, that in a way that, hey, instead of you're trying to pick whatever channel you want, just tell the objective that you want to be or to have the highest reach, for instance, or to have the best video quality view, for instance. And then that kind of difference, it's just like when you use Google Map, like you don't tell the map like which route you go, you just tell, oh, I want to go to Bogor, for instance, and then the map gives you the best answer to that in terms of, the fastest fit. And then I just start to realize, okay, I've been using AI actually. Like, and then we never take it for granted before actually. I think looking back, that's probably the reflection. Like if you ask me when was the first time like I used AI in a way, yeah, that's probably it.
I think pretty similar. If you talk about when I heard AI, I think it's back in 2018. Yeah, 2018. I heard about AI, but not really sure what is it basically, right? I think around 2019, 2020, we heard about GPT, right? This is where everything basically accelerating during the COVID. And I think just adding to what Shanti mentioned, basically even in digital marketing that we did, basically with the media optimizations, there's AI. But we're not really labeling it as AI. And suddenly everyone's like AI. But this is something that we actually have been encountered and using, I would say, even in our daily life as marketing to see.
It's been part of our daily life for ages actually.
Yes.
But then we just never labeled it as AI.
I would say so.
And with the GPT is accelerating the whole things about AI and now we call it AI.
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much. Now, let's deep dive into our topic today. We would like to understand how we optimize AI, we use AI to transform the consumer behavior and then how it impacts definitely the consumers itself. The first one that I would like to discuss today is to really understand from both of your point of view how this technology transforming the way brands gain deeper consumer insight during Ramadan, especially in this ever-evolving digital landscape. And is there any striking difference that you see when we compare between local and global trends?
Maybe I'll answer first.
Go ahead.
If we're asked, is there any difference that we know globally, locally? I don't think so. Information-wise, I believe we're within the same global, yeah. But in terms of maybe adoptions, could be different in some cases, yeah. But maybe can I just show a bit of a slide?
Of course.
Okay, just sharing a bit basically. I think before we talk about what are we going to do in Ramadan, basically if we talk about generative AI in kind of like bigger landscape in marketing, this certainly has changed the way we work across all value chains. This is just an example. As you can see on the slide, this is actually impacting the way we do analytics, insight, e-commerce, content, creative, you name it. This is just a few that I can share with you. And now, if we reflect on this is to your questions, getting to know consumer insight, analyticals here. Yeah. This is something that we definitely, of course, have been adapting inside our company and really help the way we work. just maybe share it with everyone as well, balik ke next slide lagi. Just to understand as well, and when it comes to AI, you need to understand first basically what you need gitu, what is your objective gitu kan. And then after that, understanding what sort of solution yang you guys need sebenarnya kayak gimana gitu.
Yeah.
So internally in Nestle, this is how we see things within level gitu ya. Hopefully everyone can see ya, ada di belakang juga. There are 3 levels that the way we see it. The first is basically what we call off the shelf. Nanti mungkin masuk saja juga. Off the shelf meaning udah ada, gitu.
Yeah.
It's already there. You just can work with your right partners gitu ya. Whatever the marketing objective is gitu. And then second, naik dikit gitu ya. This is what we call customization. Basically, let's say you work with partner A, but you kind of like need some adjustment because of your, let's just say, ways of work. Then the customization will there. But then you have what we call tailored AI. This is pretty much from scratch. You work based on your business needs gitu ya. Jadi understanding dulu nih, what will be your objective first gitu. And if you understand what is your objective, choose which level are you basically. Are you want to work with those who are already available gitu ya, off the shelf, or you want to have something more customizations or even more tailored, something like
Which
that.
stage are you at this moment?
Company-wise, all 3.
Oh, together.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, so that's from my end. Yeah.
Nice then. How about you?
Yeah, I'm personally quite excited, of course, when you talk about AI. Right? I think if you kind of follow what's happening in the past, weeks or last month, actually, particularly in December, there's plenty, announcement or new things from AI. And I want to pick up what Chitra mentioned actually. Again, AI is a tool, right? The question is how are you going to use it, and then your question is about how to get the consumer insight, for example, or behavior. Right? But going back to what Chitra mentioned earlier, there's a spectrum of works that you're trying to do. For instance, if I simplify from what Chitra mentioned there, which is first is research, something like that, analytical, and then planning, and then execution, and then of course the measurement, actually something around that actually. And in terms of research part, in this case, I think what's exciting for me is we just announced Gemini publicly in mid-December. Personally, I've been using it because for someone who works in Google, we have this sort of test tools, right? Yeah, we use that. But I'm super happy that people can use it actually. Again, if friends and teman di sini haven't tried or see what's the update from Gemini. In the context of this deep insight actually, and by the way, the tool is public, and I'm not sure how what's the free version kind of thing because obviously I got the access and that one. If I simplify, there are 3 things basically. One is the typical Gemini Pro. You just chat, right, like a friend, like, hey, Gemini, what do you think about Ramadan? Something like that actually. And then the second one, there's a deeper analytic. It's called Gemini Deep Research actually. Now, I'll just tell you, I'm going to tell this a bit actually. So, how the Gemini research? Okay, this is just an example. Thank you for putting this up, Chika. This is the example of Gemini actually. Again, this is just normal Gemini, right? In this case, that you can just prompt that there's deep research as well. But if you go to the next slide, I'll just give an example actually, just to give some visualization. People can see because apparently this is quite cool. Like you can prompt it into the question actually, and it's already going to the GitHub content, even in Bahasa. Like this is where you start what we call research, right? And then you can just ask anything in a way that people might say, oh, it's been there. But what happened is the speed, the quality, it's getting better. This is just one stage or one aspect of it. The second one that we have, and then you might want to try it actually, what we call deep research. Gemini deep research. So in the button of Gemini, you can pick which one that you want to use. Like in this case, deep research. Actually, the question will first, it will take sometimes like maybe 2 to 3 minutes, because actually the machine AI will go to the whole million websites in the world to pick relevant website that goes to your question. It could be 20, it could be 30, and then pick typically the best website that is actually. And it's like having a PhD working next to you and telling you, hey, these are the relevant topics this, and then from there, they give you a summary, or you can chat based on the summary actually. So that's how fast the analytic work or research work. And then of course there's Notebook LM. Again, this is something that's already out there. So the difference will be, Notebook LM will use your material, or what you think the materials are. What kind of material that you use? Like for instance, sometimes you see a YouTube video, right, for 2 hours, right, long. Yet there are 3 or 4 YouTube videos that you want to see, like podcast, for instance. You just put it there. Within 30 seconds or so, it's already the summary, or you can check what's the video, what do you think about this, and I think you mentioned it right as well, right? Create a podcast as well, that kind of thing. And then you can use your PDF file as well, or your Google document as well, actually. So it's from your own material. But in terms of research, those are the things that suddenly, the things that we do like 4 days before, now happen within minutes. I think that's what exciting actually. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
It's really helped us to shorten the process that usually takes time. It's not just about research, but doing your own work as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's how it transforms when it comes to gaining deeper consumer behavior and understanding the market. Kembali lagi, it's all about the speed transformations. Not only that, you got all the kind of like PhD persons next to you to help you sharpening the strategy and research itself. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. The next question I'm gonna go one by one. Aku ke Mbak Citra dulu ya. So we know that Nestle has a very broad portfolio, and then including items that is frequently chosen during this specific moment, which is Ramadan. How does Nestle use AI to analyze the consumer data and then prioritize which products that you want to push to the market compared to the other products that you have? And if you have any examples of AI that you compare, feel free to share with us.
First of all, I think as a food company and beverages, you don't have to get AI to tell which portfolio to sell, right?
Yeah.
Basically, Ramadan is the time of the year that we have to sell more, right? So there's no need of AI.
Okay.
But I think in terms of really picking up AI to help us to prepare the Ramadan, yes, we do that, let's say. Boleh di slide-nya. So this is just an example that we had last year. Di-play aja Mbak. Di-play aja boleh, langsung otomatis. It should be looping the video. Okay. Anyway, it should be looking. But basically, last year, we had this campaign with one of our brands, which is Bear Brand, basically. The objective with Bear Brand at that time, of course, driving a relevancy with the consumer, but also at the same time, drive the health efficacy messages, right? Within the period of Ramadan, of course, yeah. And this is where we actually work with our partners to find what we call, let's just say, insight research. What sort of conversations that they have before Ramadan, what sort of health discussion that they actually have. It could be mungkin during preparation for Ramadan or during mudik, they need to have stamina because they're traveling and so on and so forth. So that sort of conversations, we actually crunch the data, and then we select which keyword that could be relevant to our brand. And after that will be the work of Magic with Marketing. We create the content and crafting the message personalized based on the topic that we actually select at that time. So we did this with Bear Brand last year, but not just that. During the journey, what we did, after aware of the messages, we try to drive them also to buy our product in one of the e-commerce platform. Yeah. And the result at the time, really, really good. But we can do next slide. We had a result. Yeah, we have a key result just to share to everyone. So this is sort of KPIs or diagnostic measurement that we had. It does helping you to drive even better when it comes to what we call optimizations, because the machine is not really helping you to drive that optimizations. And then not just that, we did as well like a study, and we see a good result when it comes to ethical attributions and also considerations. So this is just an example, yeah. Plenty basically. This is just one. But we also did something with Google 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. We did what we call SEO optimizations using the engagement framework. And again, as to what Tadi mentioned, it's already there last year. The machine really help you to optimize, format, bidding, and so on and so forth. And the result really good. So I think it's already there. You just have to use it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Good. So the way we transfer the consumer behavior or data from an example of the brand is actually really deep down to the analytics part, starting from the early stage.
Yes.
Okay.
That conversation.
Got it. Thank you. Ms. Danny, now it's all about Google for sure. As we know, you have access to fast data and also advanced AI technology like Gemini that you said just now. How do you assist the CPG brands in identifying specific consumer behavior patterns during this season? And is there any unique insight from search trends or digital per engagement that you can actually share with us?
Yeah, I think again, the data helps us, right, in terms of getting more consumer understanding and how you the game with the way during Ramadan. I think there's two layers that we're seeing this year actually, which is the normal, typically the total Ramadan kind of patterns. Like timing is something that we see in normal patterns. As you know, there are certain products that consumer actually start, in this case, searching or trends happening. I'll give an example, for example, Tolani. Like, surprisingly, it happened like 3 weeks before Ramadan, actually. Sebelum hari puasa Ramadan, before the first day of puasa. Like, because that's the type of product that people stock up actually, and then that's kind of help the marketers with this type of product where people stock up actually to start your campaign early actually. So when people start, okay, I might want to stock up this type of product, you're there in terms of, okay, we have here or we have certain promotion. So that's for example, right? And ready-to-drink product, ready-to-eat products, typically on the day itself, actually. For instance, makeup, for instance, closer toward hari Lebaran than skincare or after it, for instance. So of course, pudding will be the like of ice cream snacks, for example. People start stocking up for this kind of thing. But this year also we tried to see it by region actually in Indonesia, which is suddenly we find more interesting data as well. Like for instance, ngabuburit. In Jakarta, when you try to breakfast, there's a trend actually in DKI Jakarta, big city probably. It's about cafe, for instance. Like because maybe traffic is a factor, for instance, or distance factor, so they try to meet that one cafe. But in area like West Java, for instance, or East Java, it's actually coming to your friend's home or house actually. So what does it mean, right? Then there's a tendency how you can intercept it. If you want to go for a friend's house, then you can start helping inside how to cook together, for instance, this kind of thing. So that kind of thing. And the other thing that we learned actually, again with the help of Gemini, Lebaran not necessarily ketupat in other places actually, because there's nuance of locals like in places in Sumatra or East Java. While we probably live in Jakarta, it's typically ketupat, right? Associated with Lebaran actually. What does it mean actually? Again, with the planning of, you can go deep with sub-geo, for example, targeting your audience in certain area, then you can start reading this kind of trend actually differently. Again, both could be captured through Gemini itself or Google Trend, AI engine, or obviously through Google Teams as well in terms of this kind of insight. I think that's the kind of things that implies in practicality.
Right. So I think for us as marketers, you can go to the open for public platforms like Gemini for you to access information to define what you can do for your target audience. But beyond that, I think the department from CPG brands is also providing data based on data that you got, like the behavior of the consumers for a certain area and how you can actually provide specific strategy to target this audience. Yeah. All right. We have 5 more minutes. Last questions to both of you. After we understand how this AI can actually transform the way brands leverage their consumer data, and then now you have to help the brands as well on how they can actually prepare the future adoptions of AI in the next 3 to 5 years. Because if we see in the past 3, 4 to 5 years, the growth of AI is, I would say, insane. And how would you see and how would you help brands to prepare in terms of the adoption for the next 3 to 5 years? So I achieve that.
Big question, yeah?
Yeah.
3 to 5 years. Of course, you need to have a roadmap. Of course. I mean, as I shared earlier on my slides, this is where just, to name a few sort of value chains that we have kind of like, select this day. Then we have a roadmap, what sort of things that we need to prepare, yeah, with all the marketings, basically, across e-commerce, content, yeah. So you need to definitely need a roadmap. And also think of how, in general, AI can help you. I think there are 3 things that we need to think with AI. It should help you to get inspired, insight, analyticals, like Nathalie mentioned. For me, it's inspirations. Tons of inspirations with AI. After inspiration, of course, automation. Comes the automation, meaning you need to make your job easier, right? Faster, that's automation. After that, optimization. Once you get all the idea, once you get the automations on the road, then you do the optimization. I think that's where AI as a foundation that we need to think of. Inspiration, automation, and optimization. Yes.
How about you, Mas?
Well, maybe I'm a bit more aggressive in this. 3 to 5 years. I think you should do it now. That's my take, actually. Again, the thing is, it's continue to progress. And Chitra mentioned about inspiration, right? And then some of the framework, like from analytical, planning, execution, and action itself, right? In terms of inspiration, again, I just want to give an example in this case, like how fast it is, right? Davika, if you don't mind, I have one class, just visualization. So I just imagine in this case, again, updated recently, just to have some, inspiration about what I write in terms of the prompt. It's just a mom preparing food with the kids waiting, actually. Granted, I was prompting in English. But AI prompt me, hey, do you want me to prompt for you? AI asked me to prompt, this is the prompt. Granted, it was in English, yeah. I just translated it in Bahasa. So even the AI will help from to you, actually, in terms of, what's the, in this case, text to image, right? So if you click to the next slide, after this prompt happened, within a few seconds, this pop up actually. I was like amazed because this is very Indonesian actually in terms of visual. I can imagine that this is something that this becomes an inspiration, right, for you. Oh, okay, how the mood board will be for your advertising, how the situation with kids, all those kind of things. You're in creative, Dylan obviously help you in this case. And what's next, even crazier, I cannot show it here, but I put it into image to video, which, again, can you help me create a video with the camera rotating around the moms to see how happy they are, and then they're celebrating. Like I can create a video out of this one small prompt that I mentioned, Ibu lagi siapin makanan, then suddenly you can create something. So it's there already. I'm pretty sure some of you mentioned about that. And then we discussed earlier that you have a group of discussion chat, a group chat, right? Where people updating each other actually. So the best time is to use AI the way I see it. It's not obviously it's not 100% perfect, as you know, but it's continued to progress, and then you never know what happens next month or even next week, for instance. But I'm quite excited about the progress this day. Yeah.
Thank you, Mas. So I think to wrap up our sessions, definitely when it comes to the AI options, particularly in the strategy milestone, be sure to really know what you need when it comes to, it could be the size of your company or even your team member, so you know exactly whether you need the off-the-shelf products up to the tailored one. And then I think at the end of the day, definitely start using AI from now. There are so many tools or dashboard out there. Start sharing with your whole team. Everyone, probably your group, where people can actually share what they try today. Because every day there is always new, probably a more integrated AI solutions that can help you from even strategy up to the end products. Right. So that's all. our sessions today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.